many students have an hesitation like, do I even have the capacity to do this? Will I get this proposal? Even if I get this proposal selected, will this STS activities hamper my routine academics? What is your take on this, sir?
Okay. So this is a very interesting question, and I completely relate to the students asking this, because even if I were, let's say, a second MBBS student or third MBBS student, this is the first thing which would come to my mind. And I would, link this back to what I was saying earlier, that many of the students, since these days, the number of students in particular class are so many. So one particular MBBS batch of students is, let's say, approximately 100 students, 150 students, and 200 students. So many of the students do not get so much of one-to-one mentoring relationship with the faculty members. So they have a doubt in their own capacity. So what all it takes. So if I wish to break down this word capacity further into it, it's, let's say, some parts. What do we really mean by the student's capacity to undertake research in the student life itself? So one is that, say, for example, the research capacity would be something that the first thing that comes to my mind is that I should have subject specific expertise. Now I cannot expect expertise in undergraduate student. So to substitute that, I would say that if you have an inclination towards the subject, that would be good enough a strong motivating force for you. So you are more likely to be a successful STS applicant if you do research in the subject of your inclination. Second one important aspect is there are certain type of skills that are required to undertake the project. So one skill is the skill of writing. Now, since all of us medical education goes into English, so your English writing skills need to be there. A little bit other skills are computer skills these days. So you'll be writing your proposal in MS Word document probably. You'll be doing your data collection on probably Excel sheet, and probably processing it through some of the softwares, which many people in your medical college will help you with the data collection. Then the other part is communication skills. So as part of your STS project, you will meet multiple people. So you'll meet your guide to get your application approved. You'll have to meet the head of the department of the respective department. You will have to meet dean sir for getting the attestation form signed. You'll have to meet your patients as well, and convince someone else if you're doing data collection from some other place. So you'll meet multiple people. So communication skills is also something which would be required as part of this thing. Apart from this, I would always say that it would help if the research is done as part of the team. So in real life, whenever the research is done in today's times, the research is not done by single person. Research is always done by team, and all the different team members have different expertise. So say, for example, if I'm a community medicine person and doing research in the field of nutrition, maybe I would have a nutritionist or dietitian as my team member. If my data analysis involves complex aspects, I would have a statistician on the team, right? So in the real life, it's always a teamwork. So in STS also, it would help if you identify two of your friends also. So one of them might be very good at writing. So that person may help you in writing the proposal. Somebody else might be good at Microsoft Excel and doing with data analysis. So that person might be helping you with data analysis. Someone else who is having good communication skills will help you in data collection as well. So since many students in a medical college are interested in research, it would always be good that you become a part of the team for someone else. So say, for example, if 3 students are interested in research, all 3 of them can become a part of each other's team. Now, having said that, I should be clarifying that for the purpose of ICMR STS, they are recognizing only 1 student per project and only 1 guide per project. So even if those other your friends are on the part of your team, they will not get the certificates in your project. So you only will be getting the certificate. And the same way, in their research projects, if it gets approved, you will not get your name on the certificate. But in the final paper, depending on the discussion with your guide, you can possibly become an author in that particular paper. So you can get the credit of the having work done. So if there are 3 students working, all the 3 students can get the authorship surely after talking to the respective guides as well. So when we talk about the capacity, these are the things that are involved. The about other question about whether the student will be able to continue with the routine academics along with the STS, that's surely possible. The only problem that we foresee that ICMR STS can somehow affect the routine academics is when the students take up something which is extremely ambitious. So earlier we were discussing that if you take up the target of, let's say, doing 500 patients data collection, it's obviously very difficult. So there you would feel that we are chasing against time and it's difficult. So take the number of patients that you wish to study in the proposal that you mention, that I'll study so many patients, make it reasonable, and here your guide would help. Right? Sometimes it usually happens that the guides are because the guides understand real world, so they would always it's always the case that the students would wish to study so many different participants, and the guide would break it down to reasonable. So students would say, I would study 400 patients, and guy would say, no, looking at 2 months time, you will only be able to do 50 or let's say 70, and that's good enough a number. So have everything which you propose in your research, something which would be feasible, something which is doable, something which is the scale is something which you can justify within those 2 months. So if you are that reasonable in your application, and if you keep your ambitions within the reasonable limits, you can fairly do the STS as well alongside the academics, I feel.
Thank you, sir. Very well explained.